Welcome back to Basement Buffs with the new episode of what I watched last month. And that month is May. The month of May. Everything I watched in the month of May. A little more than April. I'm sick of sitting here looking at IMDb pages and just talking off the dome. So I wrote some shit. I started this month with a very uplifting movie that came out in 2010 starring Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams, and it's called Blue Valentine. And by uplifting, I meant I started this month depressed. It's a sad fucking movie. It's about a couple falling in love, getting married, and it also shows them 3 years later falling out of love and starting a divorce. And it is edited to show you like they meet, they're mad. They have sex, they don't. They, go on a family trip to a park, they get in an argument about going over to grandpa's house and they get into a giant fight. They adopt a dog, dog's dead. Like, it's so sad. And you know, it's just really sad. It's edited in a way that there's just no joy at the end of this movie and it's just crippling. But it's done in a really, really well done way. Everybody in it is great. Ryan Gosling, I think, it's his best performance. Michelle Williams is good in anything, so she crushed it. Uh, and the way the movie ends is just so sad because it's their wedding and then them officially splitting, and it just hurts. And fuck your spoilers. It's been out for 11, almost no, it's 12 years now. So you should have watched it. And if you don't want to anymore because I just told you how it goes, just you're closed minded to experiencing new movies because now you know how it ends. So fuck you. Uh, but I don't remember why I was so sad at the start of May. But that movie was really depressing. I guess I wasn't doing that great. So I followed it up with this little scene show that not a lot of people were talking about when it came out, and it's completely flown under the radar. I don't even know if it's been picked up for one more season, let alone two more seasons. But the Amazon Prime show Invincible, and I liked it. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was awful. I think it was a really, really good introduction to a show that could probably go on to be really, really, really amazing. But overall, I thought the first season was solid. 8 out of 10. Also, Blue Valentine 7 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10, but it's just so fucking sad. I then followed up watching Invincible because I binged the whole season one because there's only one season right now. I followed that up with the Philip Seymour Hoffman and Meryl Streep movie Doubt from '08. This movie was nominated for 7 fucking Oscars, so I was like, wow, this movie must be really, really good. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. Let's see how good this movie is. This movie is average, painfully average, and I just really was let down. I wanted more. It just Philip Seymour Hoffman was the best part about it, and he was playing a priest accused of pedophilia, so I didn't really want to root for him, but he was the best thing in this movie by a mile. Uh it's good. It's worth watching. Just don't go into it thinking your mind's gonna be fucking blown. I had to stop and start it 4 times because I just couldn't get into it. 6 out of 10. And then I was in a romantic mood and shit. I wanted to watch some romance movies because I'm a fucking romantic dude. So I watched the HBO Max movie The Photograph with Lakeith Stanfield and Issa Rae. It was alright. I don't want to talk about the plot because it's really fucking stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's literally like a romance movie type stupid. It would only be written for a romance movie. No one would write the type of plot for this movie for any other type of genre. But I liked it, and I liked the two main actors. So 7 out of 10. Plus the soundtrack was just fucking. It hit so hard. And then I watched the movie Always Be My Maybe on Netflix that came out, and everybody when it came out was like, wow, this movie's really funny. Keanu Reeves is in it. He's the funniest part. But it came out, and I remember being like, I don't want to watch it. It looks bad. And I watched it, and she's a chef, and he's a loser. So it's me. And so I watched it, and I was like, great. 6 out of 10, because it's not a good movie. And then I had to get rid of those fuzzy romantic feelings. So I put on the movie Dredd. Not the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd, the Carl Urban Dredd, where it's just violence and action and guns and fucking the lady who plays the queen, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones, is the bad guy, and she's got a fucked up face. And it's just fun. It's just action, and it's awesome. And there are visual effects in this that are really, really cool. And I wish it did better so it could have gotten a sequel, but it didn't, so fuck it. And then I decided that, I gotta watch at least one really good movie a month. So I was back on my film school graduate bullshit, and I watched the Italian film Cinema Paradiso. And this movie made my heart happy. I put it on at 10 at night with my girlfriend, and I was like, we can watch anything? And she was like, we can watch whatever you want. And I was like, cool. And so I put on an Italian subtitled movie from the 80s, and I don't think she was that excited. I'm pretty confident she fell asleep. It's also like 2.5 hours, so she definitely was not excited. But I love this movie. It's about a little boy and his relationship with this father figure he has, who's the local like cinema projectionist. And then he grows up and becomes the projectionist, and the guy's like his mentor. And then he falls in love for the first time, so it becomes a movie about first love. And then when he gets older, the father figure's dead now. I'm not putting spoiler alerts in this shit. This movie came out in the 80s. Fuck you. Then the guy's dead, and it becomes a movie about nostalgia and the joys that are brought on by watching movies, and how like all of these memories he has are from the movies he was shown and all that stuff. And I just fucking love it. The ending is so happy. Like, it just has one of the best happy endings ever. I'm pretty confident my girlfriend was asleep when it ended, and she like did not give a fuck, because I woke her up and like, look, this is the best part. She watched it and she just did not care. And I was like, wow, this sucks, but I love it. It's a great movie. 10 out of 10. Great movie. Love Cinema Paradiso. Then I watched that new Angelina Jolie movie where she fights a wildfire and two assassins while defending a kid. If that sounds good, you're going to love it. If that doesn't sound like you're going to like it, you're going to hate it. Like, that's what it is. I didn't hate it, but it was not a good movie. 6 out of 10. And then I watched a 2020 movie called Shithouse. And I'm going to pop off real quick. This movie is a movie that everybody that goes to film school is told not to make. It was directed, written, and stars a guy named Cooper Raiff. And it is about a lonely college freshman without that many friends on a weekend where he goes out to a party and he meets a girl and they hook up. And that's it. And if you go to film school, when your professor's like, you got to go out and make a project this semester and we're going to all watch it, they specifically are like, I don't want you and your friends hanging out in a dorm on the weekend. I don't care. I've seen it. You live it. Everybody knows what it is. We don't want to see it. And then this fucking guy, this fucking Cooper who gives a shit, goes out here and makes that movie. And it's so good. It was so good. The dude's a dweeb. He's a fucking geek. He sits there and he's never talked to a girl, clearly. Like, he's never actually had a connection with a girl, because he's calling his, like, he calls mom every night, and like he's best friends with his little sister. And like he leaves the party early because he misses his family. And then he goes back to the party and he meets this girl and he just is so smitten. And then the next day, because they hook up and he just doesn't know what to do, because like we college, he's like, are we dating? What do I do? Do I message her? What am I doing? And the girl's just like, it was okay. I'm not going to talk to the guy. Whatever. And while she's talking to her friends like that, like, no, I'm not going to talk to this guy. I hooked up with him. Whatever. Let's go out next weekend. He sends her like 30 fucking messages on Instagram, just blows her DMs the fuck up. And you watch it and you're like, wow, that's bad. But you feel bad for him because you're like, no, buddy, I get it. Like, we've all been there. And it has a really great ending. The soundtrack is so good. I don't know how he got away with putting some of the songs in it, though, because it's just this really small indie movie and they have like actual music in it, which for people that don't know how movies are made, that's expensive. Like, a lot of money. But it's called Shithouse. I didn't know what to expect, and it was really funny. It was heartfelt. It was cute. I loved it. I didn't expect to like it, because it's like, if you've been to college, you don't need to watch this movie because you lived it. But at the same time, I think everyone should watch this movie. It's so good. They're genuinely really funny moments, and I'm just repeating myself a lot, but I think this movie's fucking awesome and everybody should see it. 10 out of 10. And then I showed my friend the movie Sicario with Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt. I don't have a lot of new things to say about this movie. When it came out, everybody was like, wow, that movie's really good and a good, intense action thriller. And it's been out for like 7 years, and wow, turns out it's a really good, intense action thriller. I've seen it a lot. It's a great movie. My friend watched it. They loved it. 10 out of 10. Just from a filmmaking standpoint, it's probably as close as you'll ever get to a perfect action thriller. Like, it's 10 out of 10. And then I watched Army of the Dead, the new Zack Snyder Netflix movie. I wasted my fucking time. This movie, the trailers have footage that is more in focus than the finished product. Like every shot, like imagine my face is in focus. Everything else is blurry. In every shot for 2.5 hours. It's fucking annoying. Because I want to see zombies get fucking blown up and shot and stabbed and like just I want a dude to chop a zombie's arm off and beat up another zombie with it and then grab that zombie and shove it into another zombie. And what I saw instead was a really close up of a dude's face in focus while he did that. And that's just really fucking annoying for 2.5 hours. It wasn't good. It set up a sequel with a really shitty ending. The ending was just so bad. Like the best part of the movie was the opening credits that showed how all the characters became like zombie killers, I guess. But at the same time, if the best part of your movie is the opening credits, what are we doing here? Just really not a good movie. I just wanted to like it a lot because it looked like a fun movie and it wasn't, and I'm probably never gonna watch it again. 4 out of 10. I followed that up with the classic football movie, not Rudy, not Friday Night Lights, not even Gridiron Gang starring Dwayne Johnson, but Varsity Blues, baby. This movie isn't good, but it's so good. But it's not good. Like it was made in that weird time between like 1997 and 2003 where teen movies tackled every genre at the same time without doing anything good in any of those genres. And they were teen movies. So like this movie is a sports romantic comedy teen drama about football in Texas in high school. There's a lot going on here. Paul Walker's in it. James Vanderbeek's in it. He's not dead, but that career is. But it's just a fun movie. Like I think of those movies from that time period, like not another teen movie has not aged well. 10 Things I Hate About You is probably the perfect example of like, wow, there's a lot happening here, but what a good movie. But this movie hasn't aged terribly. There's a character who's really, really fat, and he has a pet pig named Bacon. Like, it's just fun. It's just a really fun football movie. Is it a good movie? No, it's like 4 out of 10. Is it possibly also simultaneously the best movie of all time? I don't know, maybe. It's also a 9 out of 10. Fuck you. My rules. And then I followed that easy to watch teen movie from the late 90s up with a very easy to follow, especially very easy to hear action movie that came out in 2020 called Tenant. Now, I love Tenant. I know not everybody loves Tenant. I'm not trying to convince you to love Tenant. I'm sort of sick of talking about how much I love Tenant. It made it onto my list of best movies of the past year. It's popped up on a couple months because I just watch it all the time. I bought it when it came out. I saw it in theaters. I think it's a good movie. If you don't like it, like, I don't really care. I love this movie. 8 out of 10. And then because I started the month sad, Mercury was like dipped in Gatorade or some shit because I ended the month sad. The last movie I watched was the 2018 version of A Star Is Born starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. I remember when this movie came out, everybody was like, wow, Lady Gaga, what a good actress. Not really. Not really. She's not great. She's actually my least favorite part of the whole movie. I just don't like her. I don't think she did anything amazing. Like, they turned to a pop icon and said, hey, remember that part of your career where you were struggling? Just play that. And then halfway through the movie, you're going to be really famous again. So just, be yourself. Like, I don't think she did amazing. But the reason it's a sad movie, and this is why I think spoiler alerts are stupid, because this is the fourth version of the movie. What? This movie's been around since the 30s. If you don't know what happens to the guy, you're stupid. Bradley Cooper fucking kills himself, and it's fucking sad. I was watching it before work at like 5 in the morning because I was like, yeah, I'll watch a movie before I go to work. Why not? And I threw it on, And I was like, yeah, this is a good movie. I like this movie. I forgot how much I liked this movie. And then Bradley Cooper fucking hangs himself in the last 15 minutes. And I sat there on my bed and I was like, that's why I don't watch this movie. That's fucking sad. And then it ended and I went to work. But it's a good movie. I like it. I think as a directorial debut from Bradley Cooper, like that's a pretty solid fucking movie. He's great in it. Sam Shepard, not Sam Shepard. What's his fucking name? Elliot. Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott's in it. He's fucking awesome in it. But yeah, everybody in it does great. I just didn't think Lady Gaga was amazing, and I only say that because she got nominated for an Oscar, and it's like, all right. But yeah, 7 out of 10. That's everything I watched this month. It was a lot more than last month, but not the most I've ever watched in a month. But I think it was a pretty solid month. If you check out any of these movies and want to talk about them, hit me up. Tell me what you thought about these movies. If you've never seen these movies and you watch these movies and you want to tell me about them, hit me up. Leave a comment. I probably won't respond, but do it anyways. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. We out.